On my wedding day, the wedding gown turned into a bridesmaid dress. My face darkened as I demanded an explanation from my boyfriend. Just then, Luna dashed in wearing the gown, eyes red, and whimpered, "I only wanted to try it on, but I got stuck and can't pull it down." Dylan lost his temper at her. "It's a wedding gown, today is my wedding with Serena." He yanked frantically at the zipper, it refused to budge a single millimeter. A photographer who didn't know the story hurried us, groom, bride, time to walk in. I looked at them and smiled. "What are you waiting for? Go get married." Dylan spun around, panicked. "Serena, you." I said, I repeated word by word, "Go get married." The gown's already on her, the zipper's stuck, the photographer, guests, and officiant are waiting, don't waste time. I scooped up the clutch from the table and stepped past them toward the door. "I'll skip the cash gift, after all, I helped pay for the venue decor." "Serena." Dylan called after me urgently, brows knitted. "What are you saying? This is our wedding." I paused without turning. "Exactly, your wedding. So why aren't you leading your bride inside?" "You know that's not what I mean." He strode over, trying to grab my arm. I sidestepped, his hand closed on thin air. Luna sobbed. "Serena, I really didn't do it on purpose, the zipper's really stuck." I turned and stared at her. Tears slid down her cheeks, carving pale lines through her perfect makeup. She bit her lower lip, pitiful and lovely. "Luna," I said, smiling, "the gown suits you." "Truly." She froze, a flicker of confusion and wariness in her eyes. I looked at Dylan and said flatly, "Dylan, if the zipper's stuck, don't force it. A bride's a bride, don't waste the auspicious hour." "Serena, stop making a scene." I met his gaze, then spun on my heel and walked out without a backward glance. Dylan shouted after me, "Serena, how long are you going to act like this? The ceremony's about to start, can't you be reasonable for once?" "Perfect. I'm being perfectly reasonable. Since the wedding gown is on someone else, I'll give them my blessing. There's never been a more reasonable girlfriend." In the beginning, Dylan wasn't like this. Everything changed once Luna arrived. I first met her at Sterling's holiday gala. I'd just been promoted to product, steering the firm's flagship AI project. That night he tugged a girl over to me. She looked barely 20, big innocent eyes, simple white sundress. "Serena, this is Luna. Her parents died, she was my college classmate. She's alone in Kingston now, struggling." Luna gave me a polite smile. "Vance, Dylan's told me so much about you. You're amazing." I never imagined this harmless-looking girl was Dylan's ex. 3 days after the gala, Dylan asked me to coffee downstairs. "Serena, I need to talk." He stirred his coffee, eyes flicking. "We work at the same company, people will gossip. Maybe you should consider a new environment?" I glanced up from a project report on my phone. "What?" "There's an unwritten rule, office romances are discouraged. Instead of letting people whisper, let's be proactive. Your skills are gold, you'd thrive anywhere." Seconds passed before I understood. "You want me to quit?" "Not quit, relocate to a better platform. I know recruiters who'd line up for you. With your talent, offers will rain in." I stared, hunting for a trace of a joke. His face stayed earnest, almost pleading. "Why me? Why not you switch jobs?" He blinked, then smiled. "Serena, my project is at a critical stage, I can't leave. A man's career matters. When we marry and buy a house, one of us needs stability." I didn't answer that day, but for the next week he nudged daily. Finally, on my birthday, he gave me an engagement ring. "Serena, marry me." Candlelight danced, he knelt. "I promise I'll make you happy." My pulse thundered at the sight of that ring. 5 years together, a promise at last. Next morning, I handed in my resignation. 1 week later, Luna joined Sterling as product, filling my slot. In her first month, Luna made 3 major mistakes. First, she offended the firm's biggest client. She showed up 30 minutes late to a pitch, mispronounced the client's name twice. The client stormed out, the deal almost collapsed. Dylan held a 3-hour postmortem. "Luna, do you realize how vital this client is?" He slammed the table so hard the coffee cups rattled. Luna hung her head, tears dripping. "Sorry, I didn't mean to, I was so nervous." "Nervous?" he barked. "This is work, not a playground." He personally visited the client with gifts and drank 3 rounds of liquor to revive the contract. Later he complained to me, "The kid still needs seasoning, but her attitude's good, she's eager." Second, she shredded a critical document. It was the client's original spec, only 1 hard copy existed. While organizing, she fed it into the shredder. Dylan's face went livid, but he only muttered, "Forget it, be more careful." Serena used to make similar slips. I froze. When did I ever make such a slip? Third, she dumped coffee on a server keyboard. It controlled the entire product line. She tripped, full cup splashing in. Tech crew spent the night in emergency repair to recover data. Estimated losses, hundreds of thousands. I thought surely now Dylan would act. Yet that night he just rubbed his temples. Serena, what a day. Luna had a little accident, I've been putting out fires nonstop. Little? Dylan, we're talking 6 figures. For the first time I lost my temper. Displeasure flashed in his eyes. Serena, why so mean? She didn't do it on purpose. Everyone slips, remember when you... I cut him off. When did I ever pull a rookie stunt like that in 3 years? Are we keeping score now? I never pegged you for this. Luna's orphaned, hustling alone in Kingston. As her senior, can't you show some grace? I stared, the man felt like a stranger. We fought until he stormed out. Next morning a courier arrived. Sender, Luna. Inside the box, a bag of gourmet coffee beans. The package was exquisite, embossed with French script, Kopi Luwak. Civet coffee. And tucked beneath the satin ribbon was a handwritten note, Serena, I heard you've been super stressed lately. I hunted this civet coffee down just for you, hope you enjoy. Luna, I stared at the beans, nausea rising like a tide. I tore the foil open, an acrid stench slammed into my face. These weren't roasted beans. This was actual cat crap. I clamped my hand over my mouth, gagging. My phone buzzed, a text from Dylan. Luna said she mailed you coffee beans. Make sure you grab them. Sweet of her, right? My thumb trembled above the screen. I didn't bother telling him. I already knew he'd spin some excuse for Luna. The accidents never stopped. Luna accidentally shredded critical files, and Dylan spent a week piecing them back together. She accidentally swapped 2 columns in the quarterly report, and he pulled 3 all-nighters fixing it. She accidentally insulted our biggest client, and Dylan spent Sunday groveling at a golf club. Each time, he scolded her, then patted her head, no biggie, just be more careful next time. Eventually Luna stopped pretending to work altogether. Her daily routine, brew Dylan's coffee, shuffle paper, sit in meetings like a living prop. Enough. 1 more second of this and I'd mutate into Ninja Turtle Serena. I hailed a cab back to the penthouse loft, 2 p.m., sun high. Dylan bought the place 3 months ago, top of Kingston's skyline, 150 square meters, turnkey glamour. He called it our nest, promised me the best home a bride could dream of. I pressed my thumb to the lock. Beep, fingerprint not recognized. Again. Still no match. I leaned in for facial recognition. User profile deleted. The corridor echoed with cold digital certainty. My hand shook as I speed dialed Dylan. No answer. Second try, voicemail. Third, same. I opened WhatsApp. Luna had updated her status 5 minutes earlier, 9-shot collage, caption, meeting him was the luckiest stroke of my life. Let's stay like this forever. Fireworks. A giant heart blooming over the river. Below it, Dylan's silhouette, lighter in hand, head tilted skyward. The angle kissed his profile like a lover. Today was supposed to be our wedding. My groom was setting off fireworks for another woman. I called building management. Concierge, how may I assist? I'm the owner of Unit 1508, I'm locked out. Please send a locksmith. Right away, ma'am. 30 minutes later he showed up, mid-40s, toolbox clanking. He knelt, unscrewed the smart panel. High-end lock. What happened, software glitch? Probably, I said, dead-voiced. Just change it. He glanced up. Swap the whole unit? It's barely 6 months old, shame to toss it. I slid my credit card between us. Charge whatever. The door finally swung inward. Motion sensor lights flickered on, and the stench hit. A sour blend of mildew, rot, and something unspeakable clawed at my throat. The living room was a war zone. The white sectional bore dried stains, yellowish, bodily. Our framed engagement photo lay shattered, glass shards glittered like frost. Across the wall-size canvas of our smiling faces, someone had carved jagged lines, only over my half. My eyes gouged, my smile slashed, my nose shredded. Dylan's side pristine, every hair intact. How deep does hatred have to run? I stepped farther. The master bedroom door stood ajar, an even fouler odor seeping through. I pushed. On the velvet comforter we'd chosen together, still creased from store folds, sat a fresh, coiled pile of excrement. I stood there, staring, until laughter bubbled up my throat. Luna's wedding gift, so thoughtful. My phone rang, Dylan. I picked up. Serena, where the hell are you? The ceremony started hours ago, why'd you vanish? Hours. Hours to watch fireworks with Luna before he noticed the bride had ghosted. I snorted. I'm at the penthouse. He bristled. Penthouse? Why? Do you have any idea how many guests are waiting? How am I supposed to explain this? I laughed for real this time. Explain? What exactly, how you plan to sandwich me between your best man and your homewrecker? Should I have worn the bridesmaid gown so Luna could flaunt the wedding gown? Disgusting. Dylan thought this was still about fabric. He softened his voice like I was a tantruming child. Babe, I know you're upset, but it's just a wedding gown. I already ordered you another one. Just a gown. Just a man, then. He didn't even suggest a redo. Let's call today our big day and move on, okay? I inhaled slowly. Dylan, do you know what your penthouse looks like right now? A pause. What do you mean? Come see for yourself. I hung up. Eventually the front door creaked. Dylan strode in, Luna on his heels, already changed out of bridal white into a simple sundress. She met my gaze, panic flickering, then manufactured calm. Serena, you, Dylan's words died as he surveyed the carnage. What the hell happened here? That's my question. I pointed at the slashed canvas. Explain that. He approached, saw my mutilated face in the photo, and blanched. Also check the sofa and the master bedroom. He disappeared, re-emerged seconds later, hand over his nose. Who did this? I looked straight at Luna. She hovered by the doorway, fingers knotting her hem. Luna? Dylan turned to her. Didn't you say you swung by yesterday to help decorate? I did, she whispered, but it was already like this when I arrived. And you didn't think to inform us? I arched a brow. I didn't want to worry anyone, and I wasn't sure if it was, maybe Serena has enemies. Enemies? I echoed. What enemies, Luna? I don't know. Tears spilled in perfect droplets. Serena, honestly, I have no idea. Dylan draped an arm around her shaking shoulders. All right, stop crying. Probably some sick prank. A prank? Dylan, look at those scratches, look at what's on the bed, does this look like a prank to you? So what do you want? His voice carried a note of irritation. What's the point of investigating now? Let's just clean the place up first. I laughed. Clean it up? Dylan, don't you think we should find out who did this? Dylan grew even more impatient. The surveillance footage has been wiped. I asked building management, there's no recording for the last 2 days. There's no way to trace it. I stared at him, the whole scene suddenly feeling absurd. It wasn't that it couldn't be traced, he simply didn't want to. He knew exactly who had done it. Dylan, you also erased my fingerprints and facial recognition. He froze. What? The lock, my biometric data was deleted. That's why I couldn't get in and had to call a locksmith. He frowned. That might be a system glitch? A glitch? Why today, of all days? And we bought a top-tier smart lock. Do you really think a lock that expensive could fail in such a basic way? Plus, the place has been trashed. Who else could come and go in our penthouse loft, and who has the authority to delete my biometrics? Dylan's brows knitted tighter, his tone turning resentful. Serena, are you accusing me? Why would I delete your data? This is my home too. Then I'd like to know, I said, turning to Luna, how she got in. Luna bit her lip, eyes red from crying. Serena, I came yesterday to help decorate. Dylan gave me fingerprint access. He gave you fingerprint access? I looked at Dylan. Luna needed to get in to help set things up, he said, as if it were obvious. So I temporarily added her print. What's the big deal? So, in our penthouse loft, she can come and go freely while I'm locked out? Serena, you're being unreasonable. Dylan's patience seemed to snap. I'm exhausted, I don't want to fight. If it bothers you, I'll delete her print right now, okay? Just then Luna's phone rang. She answered, spoke a few words, and hung up. Dylan, she whispered pitifully, my landlord just called. He wants me to move out today. What? Dylan frowned. Why? He said he's taking the place back to live in himself. Luna sobbed harder, hiccuping softly. But where will I go? I'm not prepared at all. Dylan comforted her. Don't panic. Stay at a hotel tonight, I'll find you a new apartment. But I don't have money for a hotel. I'll book it. No, Luna shook her head, fragile yet brave. I can't keep troubling you. I'll ask a classmate if I can crash. At this hour? Who's even awake? Dylan sighed, then turned to me. Serena, let Luna stay here for a few days. Just until she finds a new place. I stared, certain I'd misheard. Excuse me? Just a few days. Look at her, alone, homeless at night. It's pitiful. Dylan, this is our penthouse loft. I know, but Luna really needs help right now. Serena, her parents are gone and she has no one in Kingston. If we don't help, what happens to her? She can check into a hotel, she can find other friends. Serena. Dylan barked, disbelief written across his face. When did you become so cold? It's only a few days, can't you show a little kindness? If you turn her away, she'll end up on the street. If something happens, could you live with it? Why should I? She's not family. Dylan's face flushed with anger. Serena, I never imagined you could be this heartless. I thought you were kind and considerate, but you're downright vicious. Are you trying to drive Luna to her death? Luna clutched Dylan's sleeve. Stop, please, it's my fault. I shouldn't cause trouble. I'll leave. She turned to go, Dylan caught her arm. Stay. This isn't your fault. Watching the two of them, I suddenly laughed. Fine. She can stay. But Dylan, I have one condition. What? I'm selling this place. What? Dylan's eyes bulged. Are you insane? This is our penthouse loft. Penthouse loft? I gestured around. Look at it, our wedding photos slashed, feces on the bed, mysterious stains on the couch. I'm disgusted to live here alone, let alone share it with an outsider. Then we'll clean it. Some messes can't be cleaned. Even after the stains are gone, the marks remain. Dylan glared, reining in his fury. Serena, are you serious? I've never been more serious. He drew a long breath. If we sell, where will we live? I'll find a new place, somewhere for me alone. What do you mean? His voice dropped. Exactly what I said. I grabbed my bag. Dylan, I'm tired. I'm done playing this charade. Charade? He gave a cold laugh. Serena, you call 5 years together a charade? What else is it? You two are joined at the heart, yet you use me as a prop. I'm sick of it. You want the loft? Fine, pay me every cent, don't make me part of your little play, I'm not interested. Shut it. If you want to play the white knight, leash your fragile flower and keep her away from me. I headed for the door. Serena! Dylan shouted. If you walk out now, we're done, really done. I paused. Turning, I met his gaze. He stood there, face a mix of fury and resentment. The instant I stopped, smugness flickered in his eyes, sure I could never leave. Behind him, Luna's gaze glittered with triumph. Dylan, we were already done the day you made me resign. We never married, never filed papers, but I'll have my lawyer draw up a property agreement and contact you. I didn't give him another word. I walked out and kept walking. 3 days later, Sterling held its new product launch. It was the AI smart home system I'd led when I was still product, an entire year of my life, from requirements to prototype, every pixel polished with my care. I hadn't planned to attend, but a message from former colleague pinged my phone. Serena, you have to see this launch. You'll regret missing it. I took a seat in the last row. On stage, Dylan wore a crisp suit, speaking with effortless charm. Beside him stood Luna in tailored separates, a flawless smile etched on her face. Today, we're thrilled to introduce our newest creation, the Smart Nest AI control system. Dylan's voice rang through the hall. The project lead is our director, Luna. Applause erupted. Luna stepped forward and began the presentation. I listened to her recite product visions I'd drafted 100 times, watched my interface designs glide across the screen, my knuckles whitening on the chair. I rose. Hold on. My voice cut through the auditorium, halting Luna mid-sentence. Every head in the room swung toward me. Luna froze, the smile on her face hardening like cracked porcelain. Dylan's brows knitted into a dark line. Is there a problem? The MC asked. I walked to the front, each step measured and steady. I have a question. I looked straight at Luna. Director, who wrote the requirements document for this project? Luna's face paled. That was a team effort. A team effort? I gave a short laugh. Then tell me, who drafted the original architecture? Well, The user personas, who drew them? The interaction prototypes, who designed them? The logic behind the core algorithm, whose idea was it? Luna's mouth opened, but no sound came out. Dylan strode over, expression thunderous. Serena, what do you think you're doing? Asking questions. I met his glare. As the product's actual designer, I have the right to know why she's the one on stage. A ripple of murmurs swept through the hall. Reporters hoisted their cameras, flashes fired like tiny lightning strikes. Claiming you're the real designer? Dylan sneered. Got proof, Serena? Proof? I pulled a flash drive from my bag. Complete project docs, from needs analysis to final mockups, every file signed and timestamped by me. Meeting minutes, email threads, everything that shows I led this project. I plugged the drive into the laptop, the files popped up on the giant screen. Sure enough, the author field on every document read Serena. Creation dates, revision histories, all fell within my tenure at Sterling. The buzz in the room grew into a roar. Luna's complexion turned paper white. And, I went on, the core codebase was written by me and a colleague from engineering. After I resigned, every credit landed in Luna's lap. Today she gets promoted to director at this launch, while the real project lead, me, doesn't even get a footnote. Dylan's face was livid. You contributed, Serena, but the refinements afterward were all Luna's. Refinements? I shot back. Do you know what she's done these 3 years? Offended client, shredded documents, crashed servers, mailed me cat feces, slashed my wedding photos, even defecated on my bed. Her only real task? Steal my seat and wear my laurels. Luna shrieked, liar. I didn't. Serena, you can't slander me. I stared her down. Slander? Then answer a few technical questions in front of everyone. If you truly built this, they should be child's play. Luna's face went whiter still. First, what encryption algorithm does our user authentication layer use? Her lips parted, silence. Second, why did we pick distributed architecture over centralized? Again, no answer. Third, what's the product's core selling point, and how exactly do we solve the user pain point? Luna hung her head, tears streaming. A hush fell over the auditorium. Dylan barked, enough. Happy now, Serena? You wanted to humiliate her in public, is that it? Humiliate her? I scoffed. You two humiliated me. You forced me out, gave her my job, let her claim my work, and now you play the victim? You resigned voluntarily. After you left, Luna did take over. Take over how? Name one concrete thing she delivered. Dylan stood mute. I turned to the press. Ladies and gentlemen, I possess full evidence that I designed this product. Yet my credit was erased. This is Sterling's true face. I drew a slow breath, then faced Dylan. As for my fiancé, Dylan, rumor says her parents are dead, so you handed her my projects, even my man. I can't tell if that's chivalry or premeditated cheating. If she really is an orphan, that's tragic, but it's no license to bully and steal. Using weakness as a weapon, playing homewrecker and bandit, despicable. I've emailed you the asset split agreement. Sign it fast so we can be done. I spun to leave. Dylan caught my arm. Serena, what are you trying to pull? Let go. I wrenched free. He held tighter, yanking me back. I lost my balance and stumbled backward. Suddenly Luna rushed forward. She shoved me hard, I toppled off the stage. The back of my head hit the floor with a sickening crack. Blinding pain swallowed me whole. Screams, running footsteps, Dylan's voice, Luna, have you lost your mind? I didn't mean to. She sobbed. I just wanted to stop her. Stop her from what? I thought she might do something crazy. Dylan exhaled. Forget it. It's not your fault. I lay staring at the ceiling lights, glaring, cold pinpricks that hurt my eyes. Someone called 911. Someone asked how I felt. I tried to reply, my mouth wouldn't move. Dylan's face hovered above mine. Panic flickered across his eyes, then iced over. Karma. Even heaven can't stand a woman like you. He straightened, wrapped an arm around Luna, and walked away. On the freezing floor I watched their backs recede. A chill spread through me, not from the tiles, from my heart. So 8 years meant nothing, a 3-year acquaintance outweighed me. I was never irreplaceable in his world. Paramedics arrived, lifted me onto a stretcher, rushed me to the hospital. The doctor said I was lucky, no life-threatening injury, just a mild concussion. For 3 days I lay in that white room, my phone rang nonstop. Law firms, one after another. Vance, this is Kingston Law. Regarding your father's estate, we need to meet in person. My father, Theodore, the richest man in the country, abandoned my mother and me when I was 5. Mom withered under the heartbreak and died 3 years later. For 2 decades he tried to contact me, begging for redemption. I never answered. I hated him for wrecking our home, my childhood, my mother's life. Now he's dying. The lawyer said he left everything to me, his only child. Not by choice, after he walked out, he couldn't have more kids. Vance, your father controls 3 public companies, a dozen luxury properties, vast stock portfolios and cash. Conservative estimate, $50 billion. You are the sole heiress. $50 billion. Staring at the ceiling, I burst out laughing. I accept, I told the attorney. Very well. His will stipulates you inherit the conglomerate and continue its operations. He's arranged a banquet for Kingston's business elite to introduce you formally. When? 3 days from now. Good. Theodore was thrilled when he heard. He immediately had his staff start planning the banquet. He wanted the whole world to know he had a child. 3 days later, the banquet unfolded on schedule. The venue was the most luxurious 5-star hotel in Kingston, the ballroom glimmering in gold and crystal. Guests drifted through the hall in designer gowns and tuxedos, champagne flutes in hand, conversation rippling like silk. I stood backstage, studying myself in the mirror. A black evening gown, cut to flow like liquid midnight. The stylist had twisted my hair into an intricate updo, the makeup artist had painted my face with flawless makeup. Vance, are you ready? The lawyer asked. I drew a slow breath and stepped out from backstage. The house lights dimmed, a single spotlight found the stage. The host's voice rang out, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's gala. It is our honor to introduce a very special guest. She is Theodore's only daughter and the future heiress of the Vance Group, Serena." I walked into the light. Applause surged. The spotlight was blinding, but I'd grown used to that. I let my gaze sweep across the sea of guests. Then I spotted Dylan and Luna. They stood amid the crowd, faces stretched into flattering smiles, eyes dripping envy and disbelief. The instant they recognized me, shock cracked their composure, their eyes bulged. Luna looked ready to yank me off the stage. Facing the audience, I offered a polite smile. "Good evening, everyone. I'm Serena. Many of you don't know me yet, don't worry, we'll have plenty of time to work together." Polite laughter and claps fluttered back. Already, though, I see familiar faces. My ex-fiancé, almost my groom, Dylan. Every head swiveled, pinning Dylan and Luna beneath the spotlight. The attention flushed their cheeks. I kept my tone light. "Vance, thank you for the kindness of not marrying me. Any wedding bells for you and Luna now? After all, you snatched my role and every credit I earned, just to impress her." Your love story is truly earth-shattering, in the sense that it destroys everyone in its path. Do lock yourselves together in holy matrimony, spare the rest of us. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the hall. Reporters hoisted cameras, flashbulbs erupted like fireworks. I glanced at the lawyer, he handed me a folder. Since everyone's here, I'll settle one piece of business. This is my father's cap table. I noticed a company called Vance Tech, one of his portfolio subsidiaries, whose CEO is none other than Dylan. Dylan's complexion drained to chalk. Vance, it seems you missed the fine print. The majority shareholder of Vance Tech is my father's holding company, meaning me. His eyes bulged, face ghost white. Therefore, as majority shareholder, I demand the immediate return of my equity and every stolen credit. Simultaneously, I will file suit against Vance for fraudulent marriage. Serena. Dylan lunged toward the stage. You can't do this. Can't I? I looked down at him. Dylan, you tricked me into quitting, hollowed out my position, installed Luna in my seat, and slapped your name on my work. I remember every single thing you did these past 3 years. But we were getting married, he sputtered. Serena, 5 years together, 5 years? I laughed. Dylan, recall our wedding, you let Luna wear my wedding gown, deleted my door code, even took a dump on my bed, and you call that love? Every eye in the room skewered him with disgust. Guy's got zero taste, she's plain as toast. And who craps on a mattress? Filthy. Both of them are morally bankrupt, perfect match. Bet he's kicking himself now, she's the sole heiress to a fortune. Shameless. Never seen such a slob. What does he even see in her? The whispered scorn and relentless flashes had them shrinking, desperate for a crack in the floor. I wasn't finished. There's more. Luna and Dylan actually tied the knot a year ago. They were husband and wife while stringing me along, siphoning my value so I couldn't claim any corporate assets. Color had vanished from Dylan's face, he couldn't fathom how I'd unearthed that certificate, let alone chosen tonight to air it. Luna tried to bolt, but security blocked her exit. Tears gushed. Vance, please, let us go. We know we were wrong. Know you were wrong? I arched a brow. Luna, in 3 years at Sterling you insulted clients, shredded documents, fried servers, mailed me cat feces, slashed my wedding photos, and yes, left me a turd in my bed. Which of those felt wrong to you? I thought you could hide behind Dylan? Thought stealing my man, my job, my credit would land you in a penthouse loft? I stepped off the stage and stopped inches from her. Starting tonight, Luna, you will pay for every single act. Security escorted them out of the ballroom. Applause thundered. 3 months later Dylan was sentenced to 3 years for fraud. Luna was fired, she became a pariah. Online mobs flooded her socials daily, branding her homewrecker, con, scum. I stepped in as CEO of the Vance Group. I cleaned house, replacing inept execs with fresh talent, drafting new strategies. Year 1, revenue up 30%. Year 2, new product lines, market cap doubled. Year 3, Vance Group became one of Kingston's most influential corporations. Headlines crowned me the new star of the business world, Theodore's true heiress. The day Dylan was released from prison, he waited outside the gate all afternoon. I drove past and saw him, gaunt, unshaven, eyes swimming with regret. Serena. He chased my car. I was wrong, let's start over, please. I lowered the window. Remember the launch event? When Luna shoved me and I hit the floor. You said I deserved it, that karma had finally found me, that she'd done nothing wrong. Serena, now fate's circling back. Enjoy your karma. I rolled the window up and floored the accelerator. In the rearview mirror he shrank to a speck, then vanished. I know he'll regret, because regret is all a parasite can feel. A rotten heart has no room for real love. Thanks for listening. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this story? If you liked it, hit like and share with friends. We'd love to read your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories. See you next time.